Spencer is with us for the final part of our show today alongside Simon, as we finish, of course, very much on the theme of boxing. Simon, just in the passing, actually, you mentioned Anthony Yarde earlier on. Many people, including Rob, who's a big fight fan, any chance we can find out what is actually happening with Anthony Yarde? Can you guys bring us up to date? Want to see this guy in action again soon?
Well, Josh Boatsy wants to fight him, doesn't he? And Anthony Yarde is running around representing to anyone that will listen that he's not under contract with Frank Warren and that he's available to fight.
He's a free agent.
Well, that's what he'd have you believe. Frank Warren has something different on on his mind about that, and I think they're going to arbitration about matching rights and all kinds of other stuff. I wouldn't be surprised if out of the ether, sooner rather than later, we see Josh Boatsy fighting Anthony Yarde. I think it's a very good fight. And I think it's a fight that the British public would want. I think it's a fight that both fighters would want. And it's whether Frank and George's relationship with and Queensberry's relationship with Anthony Yarde stops anyone else making this fight.
Right. It's interesting that I heard Joshua Boatsy could possibly be in line to fight Willie Hutchinson as well.
Yeah.
And I believe that fight could be happening as soon as September the 21st.
Absolutely right.
Wembley Stadium.
Well, after Willie Hutchinson's performance against Craig Richards, it puts him in a different framework, doesn't it? And so with that in mind, that gives it another option.
Yeah.
But I think most people would quite like to see Josh Boatsy fighting Anthony Yarde.
Funnily enough, while we were in Saudi Arabia, Spencer,
you say that with a smile on your face.
Okay, Spencer, when you and I were in Riyadh, on the day you left, you would have witnessed what I witnessed. Of course, the legendary manager in the sport of boxing, Shelley Finkel, having an interesting conversation with Willie Hutchinson, if you remember, around lunchtime.
Absolutely.
So you never know what's going on behind the scenes with that.
I do believe that's when you brought me lunch, wasn't it?
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
Yes, I did.
Okay,
and I was proud to do so. In actual fact, though, so many questions remain unanswered following that boxing bill on that particular night in Riyadh, which finished with Zhilei Zhang knocking the daylights out of Deontay Wilder. And now big questions as to whether or not we will see Wilder in a ring again. The aforementioned Shelley Finkel, the manager of Wilder, and I said to him at the time, what does it mean for his fighter?
He is fine. He's sleeping now. It was very emotional last night, obviously. Didn't expect it to go the way it did. I have nothing but praise for the way Zhang fought. He was the better man. And it might be, but it's Deontay's decision if this was his last fight or not. I love the guy. I've been with him over 15 years, and we don't want him to get hurt.
I mean, we still don't know, Spencer, but do you think that the logical thought process here is that it would be over for Wilder?
Absolutely. I think that we thought that back in December the 23rd, when Wilder boxed Joseph Parker, taking nothing away from Parker's performance. Deontay Wilder looked a shell of his former self. It looked like the fight had left him. And I think that the performance against Zhilei Zhang underlined that the fight, it is now time to hang up your gloves. You know, Deontay Wilder, you know, he's had an incredible career going back from when he was 20 years of age, when he first entered a boxing gym to box for the sake of his unwell daughter. He went into boxing to try and earn a few quid, and he earned a colossal amount of money, and he's created a legacy. And I think now is the time. You know, boxing has a history of boxers going on too long, and I think that what we saw, that's what I'm saying. Now is the time to hang up your gloves.
After the Parker fight.
What do you think happened to him, Simon?
I think, but Spencer can describe it better. Once the fight leaves you, it leaves you. It doesn't mean he's not physically capable. It means that the mental motivations and that unique characteristics that make fighters fight is not there anymore.
No, I think it's like you say. Mentally, you think, yeah, I've got it. I can still do it. But physically, you just can't. Like, you see the shots coming, you can't get out of the way of them. The punch resistance goes. Something happens. Boxers get old overnight, and that was clear with the Parker fight that had happened to Deontay and underlined against Zhilei Zhang. He needs to retire now. You know, it was interesting speaking to Shelley Finkel at that lunch. Actually, I was saying to him, Shelley, what's he going to do? Is he going to retire? He said, look, he's upstairs in his room. He's upset. No one's seen him. Is he going to retire though, Shelley? Well, we'll have to leave it to him and see what we go. I go, you need people around you to say, listen, Deontay, you've earned a colossal amount of money. Go and enjoy it. Yeah. And I think that's where he needs to be.
I mean, you saw Wilder. I mean, with due respect to Zhilei Zhang, you saw him. Okay, he's got lots of power, carries lots of power, but he ain't the quickest. And he isn't he doesn't have the greatest ability. He's also 40-odd years of age.
Yeah.
And he can destroy Deontay Wilder because Deontay Wilder's turning around facing the other way to a referee and getting knocked out.
Yeah.
Look, it's time for Deontay Wilder to accept the fact that he's made a lot of money from a sport. He's done remarkably well. A lot of people will balance between this enormous power and this lack of technical ability and always make that argument.
Yeah.
But he was the WBC heavyweight champion of the world.
He relit the heavyweight division for a while.
He did, and Bomb Squad and all that kind of noise and what went with it.
Yeah.
was a draw.
Sure.
And that time's now come and gone.
Over in Riyadh, we also saw Daniel Dubois put in an extremely impressive performance and got himself a very good win and inflicted considerable damage on Filip Hrgović at the same time. And Dubois now in the same conversation, it would seem, with Anthony Joshua. Don Charles is Dubois' trainer. He was in this very studio in the last few days and was talking about his fighter next.
This is going out to AJ and Eddie Hearn. It's not complicated. Do not deny the British public of what will be a massive fight for British in Wembley. Come on, it's got to be two British fighters. And we are in the position to, if we weren't in that position, then they could say, oh, you're not in that position to do so. But we are a front runner. Let's not forget it. What the young man did last Saturday, it wasn't meant to happen, but it happened. We dethroned the guy who was actually mandatory in the name of Filip Hrgović. That's enough to confirm his position. So come on, AJ, come on, AD, stop playing silly buggers, yeah? Get on with it. The most obvious thing to do is to bring that fight to Wembley for the British audience. They deserve it.
Don Charles there. AJ against Dubois, how would that play out, Spence?
Listen, I like that fight. I think that Daniel Dubois has shown that, those losses that he had earlier in his career against Joe Joyce and more recently against Alexander Usyk has sort of been the moulding of him, really. He's gone back, he's teamed up with Don Charles. Don Charles not been working on the physicalities, he's been working on the psychological side with him, and he's got him into a good headspace, and he believes in himself now. A little bit like Richard Riakporhe, where he now believes in his own ability a little bit more, and he can hang in there, and he's got that toughness because he left no stone unturned. So that's a good fight. I mean, listen, AJ starts the favourite. He's sort of like AJ,
Sure.
AJ would definitely start the favourite, but
Yeah.
Daniel Dubois caught up a lot of ground, and it'll be an interesting fight. He's young. He's only 26 years of age. People forget that as well. And I like the fight.
How much is there between the two of them? AJ going in there is always favourite.
Vast experience and on a different level for Anthony Joshua. Challenge for Anthony Joshua is taking a fight against a British fighter is that if it doesn't go the way he wants it to go, then legacies start to come into play, because these British fights that go between two British fighters always create more dynamism than any other fight. I mean, if it's for an IBF strap, Anthony Joshua wants to be 3-time heavyweight champion of the world. I think if it had been Hrgović that had won this fight, I think you'd see an IBF fight being made and Hrgović and Joshua having this fight. I don't know. I think it's a great fight, whether it's here or in Saudi. I think it's a great fight, and I'd like to see it.
I think it probably
sooner rather than later.
Probably depends on whether that IBF title becomes vacant.
And
if they do strip Alexander Usyk,
which they need to.
I hope they do. So the way that I see it, the way the landscape lies is, I think that AJ Dubois box for that IBF title. If AJ wins that fight, and Fury, I think what they're hoping is that Fury maybe reverse that loss against Alexander Usyk in December, win a boxing winner, undisputed, again with two British fighters.
And Zhilei Zhang and Joseph Parker can sit on the sidelines, apparently.
Okay.
Jim White and Simon Jordan. Monday to Friday mornings from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.